Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm super excited to put out this video today where we're going to talk about Displate and Ideogram. I've been kind of on an Ideogram kick lately because they've released the new version of it, and I've been having fun testing it, making some images, and I wanted to just share some of my internal thoughts with you guys with Displate and Ideogram and different examples of how you can make it work. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like a teacher when it comes down to Displate. I know some of you guys watch my other videos for guidance on Redbubble and TeePublic and different things associated with that like Zazzle and Society6. And those are kind of print-on-demand videos that I'm very, very well versed on. But when it comes down to Displate, guys, I'm still a student. I have an account that has been in existence now for about, my guess is 4 to 5, maybe even 6 months. I really don't know the exact date. But I haven't been nearly as successful, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm successful on Displate. I'm still a student, I'm still learning, and I'm just figuring things out. And with that being said, if you guys have suggestions for me on Displate, please go ahead and put them in the comments down below. But with that being said, I just want to share some of my thoughts when it comes down to Displate, the various designs that I'm seeing, and if, Ideogram would be a good platform to make that happen on. And I actually turned on this video when I saw this image, and I thought an image like this could actually work pretty good for Ideogram. Now, I didn't pay too much attention to the hands right away. I'm pretty sure there are some weird effects to it if you really, really look into it. But an image like this, I feel, can work on a Displate. If I type in here, heart, hands, and just leave it like that, let's see what comes up just out of curiosity. And I see an image like this, I see this, and I think to myself, an image like this can potentially work. Now, I know it's not perfect, right? But it could potentially work for Displate. There's a lot of different images styles that can work for Displate. You have a text and image style, right? This is really predominantly text. It's not too much of an image style. You have a straight up image graphic element type, which doesn't take much to create. I mean, literally a couple of elements on Canva. And when I mean a couple, I literally mean two, right? You have the paint in the background and then you have the heart. That could be something that works on Displate. But then you have some really complicated pieces of art, like something like this, which is honestly absolutely amazing piece of art, which an AI can create something similar. I know this is in the avatar niche, which is like, Avatar Aang, the movie, not the movie, the series and the movie, actually, pretty cool. I remember it from back in the day, but this is a beautiful piece of art that something like AI can potentially make, and even somebody could draw by hand. But once again, we're speaking about Ideogram today, and Ideogram is pretty flexible. And it doesn't matter if you don't have Ideogram. There's other things that you could use with other softwares. You have DALL-E, and I can make tutorials on that with with Displate. But when I look at Ideogram, because it's so versatile, there's many things you could do. Like an image like this, right? If I take this idea of this dog type painting, right? And I just go ahead and copy this prompt and I paste it here, okay? I don't want to necessarily take the same characteristics, but I might want to change some things. So let's go ahead and read this prompt and let's kind of tackle it. So it says, a hauntingly beautiful grunge portrait of a dog. Instead of dog, I'm going to write German Shepherd. Okay, let me go ahead and fix that. And I apologize, my keyboard is not in front of me, so it's a little harder to look at the keys. It says, reminiscent of an antique painting. The dog's eyes are filled with wisdom and sorrow, and its fur appears to be disheveled, adding to the vintage and rustic feel of the piece. The background is a blend of dark and muted colors, with crumbling walls and a sense of age and decay. The overall atmosphere of the illustration evokes a sense of nostalgia and longing. Illustration, painting. So that's a pretty, built out prompt right there. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and turn Magic Prompt on just for, creativity purposes. And I'm going to keep it on Model 1.0. I've really been impressed by Model 1.0 on Ideogram. If you haven't seen some of my other videos, like just some basic tutorials on how to use this software, I'll leave the links in the description. I don't have any affiliate links for Ideogram. I just simply use it. So you guys can go to the website Ideogram.ai, and I'm going to hit generate. Now, I actually, I think I made a mistake. First of all, the ratio should be 9:16. So I'll let this kind of do its thing, and then I'll hit generate just for a second. But for me, ideally, I would go with a 9:16 format, because with Displate, there are no square posters. You could either have a horizontal one or a vertical one based on the image. So you look at an image like this. This is clearly a horizontal type poster. You see what I'm saying? Because it's longer in length, in width than it is in height, if width is even the right terminology. But these are pretty cool images. And of course, Displate won't necessarily approve all images, but it's worth a shot, right? So I'm going to go over here, click 9:16. And by the way, I could pick other sizes. So if you guys aren't aware of this, I know sometimes it's a little bit hard to find. I definitely didn't notice it right away when I first started, but it has this little drop down. And even if I don't want 9:16, I could click, for example, 10:16, and I can hit generate. And what it will do is it will generate an image with that characteristics for me. I'm curious if it will generate something else, but I could take a lot of inspiration from various different images produced here. And taking one thing further, I don't necessarily have to use just Ideogram. I could use Leonardo.ai. I could potentially use Midjourney. I know some of you guys love to use Midjourney, which, by the way, I do plan on making tutorials with Midjourney. I could use Ideogram. There's so many things I could use to this. There's not a limit on these things, and I do want to tutorial those. But an image with this kind of size, what I would personally do is I would go straight into upscaling it. So I would take either one of these images, or I would have it remade. So me personally, let's just hit generate one more time, just in case we might need something else created. And once again, I like to have different variations of images so I can pick what's an ideal one for me. Not all of them are going to be perfect and suit my interests the most. With that being said, to make double the money with something like this, the images that I don't use, or even that I use, I can take and upload them to something of the likes of Adobe Stock, where I sell it as an image that's a downloadable that other people can download. So I actually like this one the best. I like this one the best. So I'll go over here and I'll hit download. So I'll hit these three little dots here and I'll hit download. And of course, the beautiful painting here has downloaded. And I'm going to go to my upscaler. You guys know I use this upscaler all the time. And one of the main features for me is that not only can I upscale, but I can configure it. Okay, I have a new update. I'll just work on it later. But because I don't want to slow down the video for now. But anyways, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to upload the image that I downloaded, right? So go over here, drag and drop. And back to what I was saying, one of the cool things about this is that I can edit not only the actual image, but things like colors and various things like that. So I can go over here to develop. I can go to exposure. I can play with the exposure. And let's say I want a little bit brighter. Let's say I want to add my smart contrast to it. So there's a few things I could do. So this is how it originally looked. This is how it looks now, as an example. Shadows, I can increase, decrease the shadows. It's really up to me. There's a lot of things I could do. I could play with the curves, the sharpness, the optics, the color, even if I want to add some more or less saturation. So if I wanted to look a little bit more kind of bleak in a way, I would decrease my contrast, or my saturation. If I want to add some life to it, increase my saturation. So it's really just my choice. But after I do this, might even add a vignette, right, to darken those corners. Go in here to the catalog, and then I'll kind of upscale. And keep in mind, right now the size is 768 pixels by 1232. I'll upscale this into a 4x, and then I'll resize it in Canva. So I'll upload this to Canva, and then upload it in I will upscale it, take the upscaled version, upload it in Canva. As you guys know, I always use Canva, and kind of fix it to the right format size that Displate would want, for that correct poster, which is in my case, it is the vertical. as opposed to the horizontal because of the nature of the image. Obviously, you guys see the image. It's a tall image, right? It's a vertical image. And then I would upload it and give it a shot. Something that I will say is Displate is definitely more strict on the type of images that upload, and they have certain requirements. And I actually went over this in a separate video where I taught about, the different requirements and the different sizes. I'll see if I could find that video in my playlist link. I know I have over 1,000 videos posted on this channel, but that's kind of how I do it. I would test different things. And the dog niche is, in my opinion, a pretty good niche, because think about it. Some people might want pictures that are similar to their own family pet. Maybe they're buying a gift for somebody that's obsessed with their personal pet. And you can test different things. It doesn't have to be necessarily just a German Shepherd. It could be a Yorkie. It could be a French Bulldog. It could be so many things. So I could type over here, French Bulldog, right? And we could see how it works. And once again, I don't necessarily have to accept the first outputs that come out. I can test different things. And the benefit is of creating more than one image. Obviously, I'm getting a lot of outputs and I get to test, but more importantly, the images that I'm not necessarily going to use but still look decent, I could take them, upload them to my Adobe stock as extras, upload them to websites like Vecteezy, and sell them and make money on that too, right? So I have a lot of opportunities here. I could even take this image. All these images are great images, and they have the chance of selling in other platforms. Dare I even say Creative Fabrica? I could potentially upload these to Creative Fabrica. Now, I might have to do some work to them, but hey, it's an opportunity. And the thing is, guys, one of the things that I say with print on demand is, print on demand allows you to play a multifaceted game, because you're not just uploading to only a Redbubble or only a TeePublic or only a Displate. You can upload to all of these platforms simultaneously. You can take the image and then sell the actual image, whether it be an element of the image itself with an unedited version. And you can make multiple streams of income off of that one element, dare I say, because image, element, whatever you want to call it. But off of that one asset, you can produce multi-streams of income, which is really the message that I'm trying to push at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you use. It doesn't matter if you use Displate. It doesn't matter if you like Redbubble. It doesn't matter if you like, it doesn't matter what you like. Just go out there and do it, but do as much as you can. And, I think absolutely, without negotiation, without, unequivocally, that Ideogram can serve you in the way that I'm showing as an example. There's many things you can do, but as an example for Displate, for sure. And you look at an image like this. I didn't even think of something like this. We can do that. I want to test something out. I want to test out a cool little prompt. I'm going to write Fenrir the wolf attacks a city. His body is larger than life itself. Neon colors, blue and yellow lightning strikes. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Strikes. And a sun setting in the distance in the colors of an eclipse. And what I could do here, obviously I'll hit generate, but I want to take this prompt just for future experiments and post this on other AI tools, see what comes out of it. But by the way, this was just literally something that I had just came up with right now, right here. And we could see eventually what it will be produced into. I'm really curious what it can be, but wow, look at that, right? So you're telling me something like this won't be selling on Displate? I think absolutely will. Even look at this. This is insane to me. This is crazy. This is beyond my imagination. I honestly did not think of something like this, and it clearly looks good. If I take images like this, honestly, let me actually show you guys this, because I did not expect this, honestly. So I'll hit download. I'll upload this into my application software here. By the way, I'll leave a link for this tool in the description box down below. It is an affiliate link, but it has an internal discount in it. So if you click that link, it's going to take you to the site of Lumnar, and it will have a discount applied for you, which is pretty cool. But because this image is so insane, right, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to upscale it. So, you know, that's the first thing I'm going to do. And I want to see it in its full glory. And the image took just about a second to upscale, not even, okay, faster than a blink of an eye. But I'm going to go over here and hit develop, and I'm going to increase my smart contrast. Look at how radical the image is. Rad. Look how rad this is. I don't want to sound like a 14-year-old, but this is pretty insane. Look at this. Look at the lightning. Look at the strikes. Look how it once looked. Look at it now. This looks cool, right? And that was literally just a click. Maybe I want to increase some of my shadows like this and increase my highlights. So basically I make what's brighter, or what's bright more bright, and what's dark more dark, which would be pretty insane. And I might want to increase my exposure, or maybe just leave it, honestly. Just depends on the situation. Colors, let's say I want to increase my temperature to a blue like this, like a little bit more blue. Look how crazy that is. I could definitely see this not only being approved on Displate, but selling on Displate, making money. You know, there's so much opportunity here. I could even add, I can go into Canva and write the word Fenrir here, Ragnarok. I could do so many different things. Maybe add some text, maybe choose not to add some text. You know, with a game like this, because Ideogram is so flexible, right? And I'm not trying to gas Ideogram up. Truth be told, you can do this with other softwares as well. So it's not like you have to use this software. You could do this with different softwares. And by the way, I'm leaving this image on public, so you guys can go to my profile and download it if you want, or the prompt. But, you know, with images like this, it's like, it's so flexible. You don't have to add text if you don't want to. You can add text if you want to. And Displate clearly has a little bit of both. This image has very little text. This image has no 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 text, which, by the way, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but, you know, I think the image that I have here is a little bit cooler. You guys let me know. Maybe it's just my opinion. But I think this image of this lightning wolf in a city and all this stuff looks cooler than this, to be honest. That's just me. But yeah, I figured I'd just post this just to show what kind of ideas you can create. And for all those who might not be using Displate, maybe you use Redbubble, TeePublic, we have videos out there on this channel on this kind of stuff. You can go ahead and check them out. You can absolutely do something like this with a Redbubble. You can absolutely do something like this on a Society 6. In fact, I really would encourage it. You know, Society 6 and Redbubble for this type of image are probably the first two places I would go with this. You know, I probably wouldn't go immediately to a TeePublic with this, because with TeePublic, I like to have my text-based designs there. Not saying that other sites can't have text-based, like Redbubble absolutely can. Zazzle. I would really go for something a little bit more customizable, so this might not necessarily be the place for me. I would only use this as a last chance measure for Zazzle, and I know some people's strategies are different for Zazzle. Obviously, you guys have seen my specific strategies for Zazzle. It's definitely not something that most people do, but hey, it works for me very well. I can't complain about my strategy whatsoever. And, you know, speaking of the strategies, guys, I'll leave links in the description. You guys can click on them. It will take you to those various videos. If you're new to the channel, you'll get to see some of my different takes and some of my different strategies on these different platforms if you're trying to dive deep into print on demand. But, you know, overall, guys, I'm really impressed with the power of AI. I know in a million years, even if I went to the best art classes, I could never produce something like this. It doesn't matter if you guys gave me an eternity to draw this kind of stuff, I would never be able to, you know, produce something like this. This is absolutely amazing. And, you know, hopefully you guys can enjoy this video and hopefully give you some inspiration. And if you guys have questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to address them as best as I can, and I'll talk to you guys soon, all right? Peace out, bye.